My buddy Robbie says, question, can traditions of the elders, oral law, and rabbinic law all be used interchangeably?
Read it one more time. That's an excellent question. I just want to make sure I got the three right.
Can traditions of the elders, oral law, and rabbinic law all be used interchangeably? I wanted to bring this up to you
Who
because
asked that question?
My buddy Robbie.
That is an awesome question. Can I take that one?
Yeah, go.
No, absolutely not. If you look at particularly rabbinic works translated into English, they'll take this Hebrew phrase, Torah Sheba'al Peh, and translate it as capital O, oral, capital T, law. And they'll put a the in front of it, the oral law. That's an invention of rabbinic imagination post-destruction. It doesn't emerge till 3rd, 4th century. An ideology of, oh, by the way, Moshe received 2 Torahs at Mount Sinai, one oral, which is what we have, and the one written, which we all have. And you're not going to be able to understand the written unless you come to us, and we're the explainers. That doesn't exist in the 1st century. In the 1st century, you have multiple oral traditions. You have the traditions, whatever the Essenes talked about when they read the scriptures and applied halakhic standards. Dead Sea Scrolls community. The Samaritans had their oral story. The Samaritan oral tradition is that they are true Israel and that Mount Gerizim should be where the worship is. That is their tradition. Now, so generally, and every culture has oral elements. So the oral tradition is not at all the same. There is no such thing as oral law. That's much later, right? That's a rabbinic, usually an English translation of Torah Sheba'al Peh, Torah that is on the mouth. And then finally, there is the tradition of the elders. The tradition of the elders we do have in the Second Temple period. Paul talks about the tradition of the fathers, and I think in Galatians, Yeshua in Matthew 15, Mark 7, the tradition of the elders. That is not envisioned from those sources. It's not envisioned as going back to Sinai. It's more recent innovations that are sometimes contrary to the Word of God. So, and then Paul talks paradosis. He uses traditions as I've delivered them to you, I think in Thessalonians. As I have received, so I have handed over to you is that in 1 Corinthians 15, I think. So these are excellent question. I love this question. I hate it when people don't ask this question. No, I'm getting hate and love. I had to throw that in there. Great question. They're not the same at all. Anybody who's conflating them they're doing a disservice to education. They're actually causing people to be more dumb, meaning they're concealing things that need to be clearly shown and out on the table. So traditions of the elders, oral law, and whatever rabbinic tradition. I don't remember the things, but they're not the same at all. Not the same at all. Here, even if we just go to rabbinic world, let's just narrow down to the early rabbinic world. You have different Mishnayot. You have the Mishnah of Rabbi Akiva. You have the Mishnahs of Rabbi Ishmael. You have different traditions that Yehuda Hanasi, the story goes, takes in the early 3rd century and starts to sift through these and put them together. And so you have a major tradition, the halakha, and then usually have a minority alternative interpretation preserved, even though it's not the halakha. So we can see, even in the early rabbinic movement alone, that what is called the halakha, capital H, is the result of much sifting of various strands of tradition that emerge post 70. So excellent question. I know I talked a lot about it, but I hope that's helpful.